Hi, welcome. Today's special guest is Jill Tiny. Say hello, Jill.
Hi there.
And just a big shout out, first of all, as always do, to Titan Storage in the Braintree, who have sponsored the show. So thank you very much for that. If you're watching on the website, you can click on the link above it if you want to see what they're all about. But I actually really looking forward to this. Jill Tiny is one of sort of kind of B Collaboration co-founders, so really pleased you're on board here, and I'm going to help answer the questions.
Absolutely,
and,
definitely.
It's become the point where I think my guests are becoming more experts than me, so it's cool.
Never.
So first of all, Jill, before we get into the questions,
Yep.
as we always do, tell the world about your business.
World. Okay. Which particular one? Got a choice. No, my main passion at the moment is B Collaboration, which started about 3 years ago, just under 3 years ago, as an idea, a little seed that was planted with Erkan and myself. Excuse me. And it's grown into a community of people that I'm very proud of, because the seed that was planted was collaboration. There is no point doing anything on your own. You have more fun when you do things together. I was a one-man band. I was a business coach as a one-man band, and I met Erkan, and he was doing exactly the same thing as me. So on paper, we did exactly the same. In reality, he liked doing that little bit, I liked doing that little bit, and neither of us liked doing that little bit. But we knew how, but we weren't fantastic at that. So we thought, well, together we're stronger. As with most things in the world, when you bond with somebody and you get on with someone, you actually, well, we can do this and we can try this, and all of a sudden the ideas got bigger and bigger. But Erkan, being Erkan, couldn't leave it at that level. He had to take it further, and it all seemed like a good idea at the time. Had you told me 2 years ago what we were going to go through, I might have changed my mind. But I'm so pleased that we've got through this stage now, because we now have a community of getting towards 100 collaborators now, of people that are passionate about what they do, very clever at what they do, are willing to help each other, support each other, leverage each other's skill sets, move forward together, do things that they never thought possible for themselves. And one collaborator said, what it is getting me to be the best me that I can be. And that just resonates with me. So we are now not just in a business, we're on a mission. And that
they probably know, the people regulars who watch it, that I'm a member of B Collaboration, and for me it's been it's been almost, we call it the B Col family, but it is like that, and it's being surrounded with experts, and I think the people, it's interesting, a lot of people say about the but they know the quote about surround yourself with better people, but they actually find it very difficult to do that. And I think that's a great way of doing it, because you are surrounding yourself with experts and other people in the room. And so you are up in that, if you struggle with that, and you feel that that you can give something to the world, then actually that is.
And I don't know if you, at the meetings, you can kind of feel this different energy in the room. If you go to a normal networking meeting, you go, oh, hello, how are you? What do you do? And what do you do? And what do you do? And at B Collaboration, as B would suggest, the B of collaboration is, who are you? What are you passionate about? What is the essence of Scott Campbell? And that's what we've been finding out. And it's great, because you have this amazing knowledge, first and foremost, that you've spent years accumulating. But actually, it's your passion for mankind and how you want to make a difference that makes us go, he's a great guy. It's not what you do, it's who you are that makes the difference. And in the room, there's this energy that, as I was saying to you earlier, the feedback that we're getting from people in the comments, at the end of the meeting, they go, oh, it's a great meeting, it's great. But then they write down some honestly wonderful things that really, we touched somebody's life that afternoon when they had a meeting. We enabled them to see that there's another way to do things, another way to make their life easier, make their business better, make their dreams come true. It sounds quite altruistic. It does a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to help people do.
And we'll do one of my things, we magically put the link on the video as well, so people can see the website and see what it's about. And I suppose best to send them to the collaborators website, part of it.
That section, yes. The website is a work in progress.
Because there is a big thing about B Collaboration. Obviously, offers a product and a service to clients as a whole, but the collaboration one's going to be. And feel free to get in touch with me or in touch with Jill Tiny, to have a chat about if you want to do further. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Let's get on to the questions.
Go for it.
We've got 3 good questions. They're always good questions.
Lovely.
I'm actually delighted that the sort of questions we get actually saves me a lot of effort. So I don't have to worry about content, because
it's all there for
you guys are girls give me some great questions. So we're going to start with Matt. This is an interesting one here. So Matt asks, how often should I be emailing my list?
That's right up your street, really, isn't it, that one? My big thing is about communication. So I'm always concerned about how things are going to land. What you say and how you say it obviously is one thing, but it's how it lands and where it's going to be landing. So if you've just emailed your list about this particular product or this wonderful activity you're doing or this event that you want to put on, well, then 2 days later you don't bombard them with something else. So if you are engaging with your list and you know those people and you've met them and you've got permission to email them, you kind of know what's right and what's not right for them and what's going to land. I mean, you've probably got a lot more opinion on.
Well, there's I've got opinion about everything.
That's why we get on.
It's interesting because I don't like emailing more than once a week.
Right.
My list. But for my it depends, and it depends what context it's in. Because if it's in terms of it's a list that you've got a relationship for a long time, or it's a list you've just bought or something like that, whatever. But if it's a list that you've gathered up through giving out great content, then I think once a week or once or 2 weeks, and I look at it very much. I mean, your words, not mine, a networking tart.
Yeah. Yes.
And I actually consider doing emails a bit like networking.
Yes.
I mean, when I go the once a month, it's not enough for me.
No.
The once every 2 weeks is perfect for me.
Yeah.
The once every week, and it's the same. If I go one, I don't like to go to other networking meetings where I see the same people all the time.
No.
So if I go one, if I'm seeing the same person 2 or 3 times or 2 times, I don't really go more than 4 a month anyway. But if I go see them twice in a week, it's almost like I've seen them too much.
Yeah.
And I think like that, like my email list.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that in my email list is built up from people that I've met through networking. So actually, the relationship's very similar for me. So I try not to do once a week. Well, I would say no with that from a pure marketing point of view and trying to generate clients and sales at the end of the day, is to have that initial each day one, but maybe for a set time, so 5 days, 7 days.
Right.
So if you can generate your list through, I don't know, what was your book, the 7 steps? Or,
Step Up.
So it might be like you have 7 steps to something like that, and each day for the first 7 days, they get an email. Yeah. Because if someone's just gone to your website and then, or some content, and then put in their name and email address, they're saying, I want to hear more from you. Yeah. So if you do a sort of like lead hook that's over 7 days or 5 days or 3 days, whatever it is, and then email one each day. Yeah. So rather than sending all 7 tips in the first email, send one out each day because they've already told you that because they've been on your website, they want to build a relationship. Yeah. And then go from that 7 days, think, right now, if they haven't unsubscribed or they become a client, they're going to tell me what kind of relationship. Then you can go to once a week, once or 2 weeks. I definitely think the once a month newsletters are a waste of time. Yeah. I don't read it. I get all these all the time, these newsletters. The fact it's called a newsletter, I think is...
Well, exactly, yeah, you've got to find... But also, don't you find that if you've emailed somebody and you don't necessarily want to email them straight away, then if they're in your tribe, for want of a better expression, then you can connect, they'll be connected to you in other areas. So you might give them the information through Facebook, or you might give them the information through Twitter, or it might be another little touch, but it doesn't always have to be email. Yeah,
and that's great, actually. And I think knowing... One of the things you should know is, like on your email list, how much percentage of that email list are actually on Facebook fans, or Twitter followers, or whatever social media you use, because then that'll have a. As you can say, I'm still dying. Episode 3 dying, episode 4 still dying, episode 5 will be fine. But there's a direct correlation between the people who are connected to you on Facebook and who open up your emails. Yes. So if you're sending them information each day on Facebook and giving great content through whatever social media you're using, then again, you don't need to email once a day either. Yeah. Because you'll just be doubling up.
And if you've got a good email marketing system, I mean, I use Infusionsoft, so we can tag everything like crazy. Good, so you know who's going to be connected up on Facebook, who's going to be connected up. And that makes life much more easier to get those emails out there. But for example, there's different categories of people. I have collaborators that I would easily email, bang, 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 3 days on the trot. Somebody, sometimes 2 emails in one day, because I know they're happy to receive my emails and they're looking forward to them. But somebody who's a possible collaborator who might be coming to a meeting, I would probably...
Too pushy,
one email and then a little reminder of the meeting. just to give them a taster, just to entice them, keep it shorter. Where you guys, I can email, and they're quite long, aren't they? Some of the emails that come through, because there's a lot of information to take on board. But I couldn't do that to anybody else.
Yeah.
It's how it's going to land. It's who you've got the relationship with, and how that's going to work, and how they're going to view it. Are you going to be a nuisance, or are you going to be a help? So how's your email? You look at it yourself as though you were receiving it. Actually, that's quite useful. I'd be quite pleased to send. Okay, I'll send that one. But if you think, it's just an email for the sake of an email, it's not worth it. You've got to put some quality content in. And
if you're really worried about Matt, send her an email, ask them, what's too much, because your fans might be different, unique,
Yes.
to anyone else's. So you could ask them the question.
How often would you like to be emailed?
Yeah. Or look at your unsubscribe rate, because that will tell you a lot. I mean, I never get worried about people unsubscribe. That's fine. They say they want to unsubscribe, and that's absolutely fine. But if you get a lot of unsubscribes off your emails, then you'll probably find that you're doing too quick. Yeah. So, so whatever sits right with you. But if you just want to take a genuine one, then once a week, I think, is okay. A bit like
they won't get annoyed with you once a week.
It's cool. No, thank you.
Okay.
Kate, hope that answers your question, Matt. And as always, you can get in touch with me if you can, and if you want a bit more in depth about that, that's absolutely fine. So, straight on to the next one. Louise, I like this quite well actually. How do I get more likes on my Facebook page without paying for ads? Which is quite common, because obviously Facebook have changed all their.
Have they? I'm not a great Facebook user per se. It's there, but it isn't necessarily my first tool to go to.
Right, so we'll give you some background. What's happened over the last probably 6 months is Facebook have changed how much reach a business page gets.
Okay.
So even if you've got 1,000 likes, each post might only now get, where it was getting like before 800, seen by 800, probably only going out to about 30, 40 now.
Okay.
So what they're doing is they're forcing people to then to pay for their ads, to boost their ads.
Crafty. Yeah. Okay.
To try and get the more viewing, which is fine. Facebook, end of the day, for free use, it's a fantastic piece of software. So, and they're a business at the end of the day, I've got no issue with that. But that's probably why, to get more likes of people to your page in the first place, that they're trying to get people to Paul's page. But so that might be the background of why they're trying to.
So is it necessarily worth getting more likes linked up? It's just you still want more views, don't you? I mean, it's ulterior ways of getting people to view your Facebook page without going through Facebook.
I mean, obviously we don't know what industry you're in, Louise, but for me the biggest one is first of all deliver great content.
Yeah.
And you don't need, how many likes you got doesn't transform into how many clients you get from it.
No.
And I don't know if you saw my video, I had a really interesting conversation. I think there's a video, a blog post where someone had got in contact with me through someone I knew, and that I met through Twitter, funny enough, and after engaging with them, and they'd had, I think they had over 10,000 likes on their Facebook page.
Right.
And what did they come to me, because the blog I released was within my first 50 likes, and I've only got just over 300 now on my Facebook page. Yeah. And when my first 50 likes, I got my first client through it, directly through it. So his question was, well, he's had over 10,000 and hasn't had a single client from it.
Right.
And my issue was it was a real clicker for him. It was like a light bulb moment. Because what I said to him was, did you deliver the content first? I'll get the following first. And what he said, I went and got the following first. So he paid for likes and stuff like that to get that following. Then he started delivering content. So he hadn't got a clue who he was sending content to. Whereas all my likes have come on the back of the content. So anyone that does it, whether it's 300, I'll take 100 any day of the week that want to see my content, rather than 20,000 that I don't know from Adam, just get it out in front of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the big difference, and that was
it's like web designers will tell you want to put stuff on your website that's going to keep people sticky and keep it on there and keep them seeing it, and it's like goes to like. So if they are already coming to you because they like the content, then they're more likely to like the page anyway, and do something, take some action as a result of it. So just to get the like is not enough, is it?
No, and you shouldn't be head up about it. So I mean, that one sort of so Louise is sort of, I want to get more likes, and it doesn't really matter. And if you're really worried about it, I think you shouldn't be, because someone might come to my page and go, oh well, I don't like Scott, because he's only got 300 odd likes. if that's how they're thinking, then they're not going to be my ideal client anyway. So I rather look at the content and then like on the back of that. So Louise, go and give out great content on your page. And then get that. If you really want to force the likes, what I do is any bit of great content you've got, there's so many different kinds of groups on Facebook. You belong to any groups? And
various ones, yeah. All sorts.
So you take out all the crappy selling pages ones where people just, and all the social media companies just post for willy-nilly on there. It's actually, I belong to groups. I don't belong to many, but they're quite specific to where I want my content to go. Yeah. So like the Big Collaboration group, I post on there every so often, but not every day. No. And I'll only do it with the content that's relevant to that group, to the people that are in that group. So then that builds up people going, oh, well, that's quite cool. I'll go look at Scott's stuff. Yeah. And people have friended me on that and whatever afterwards because of the content. So then I've got some other stuff where one of my daily question ones was specifically for coaches and NLP people. So I put that in a group which is full of coaches and speakers and NLPers. And again, the content is so relevant to them that on the back of that, I've got about 7 new likes on that one piece of content. So deliver the content first, so get it out on your page so you consistent content. But then look to see where you can share that, which will encourage the ideal clients and the people you want. So, but you're not back Facebook on your business?
I'm more a Twitter girl, but it's funny how people kind of have this comfort zone of where they want to be. Erkan is more Facebook. I'm more Twitter because it's on my phone, it's quicker, it's easier. I'm not a great one for taking photos, and a lot of people seem to be, we'll take a photo and put it on Facebook. It's like, oh, okay. So I don't get into that habit, and it is getting into habits and good habits. So you've got to decide where your customers are living. Are they living on Facebook? Are you a business to consumer or business to business? So quite often, if you're business to business, you're better off playing in LinkedIn land rather than Facebook land. So it's understanding where they're living and who your ideal client. What's their pro forma? What do they look like? Where do they go and play? What do they buy? How old are they? You know, the whole format of who that person is that you're trying to attract, and what do they want to know, and what content do they need? Well, that's what you put onto Facebook. And you might be doing it for one person, but actually 100 will see it and like it and then engage. And as Scott's saying, you only need 300 and you've got yourself another client. And it is about being sticky. I remember talking to the guy that runs, I don't know if he still does, but Gourmet Burger Kitchen. Okay. He was employed to run their Twitter account. Yeah. And he did a fantastic job. And I looked at it and I was like, well, they haven't got that many followers. But if he needed a launch of a new restaurant or something was going on and there was promotion, he just filled the room just through Twitter, because every single follower was really engaged, because he didn't put out anything that wasn't worthwhile, and everyone wanted, and there was competitions and everyone would jump on the bandwagon, and he had a following because people wanted to, oh look, he retweeted on Twitter, and it's that kind of excitement that he generated with a very small following, but everyone kind of loved him because he was a cool dude. And also the amount of likes doesn't actually restrict where it goes. The same as Twitter doesn't. How many followers you got doesn't restrict how far it reaches out, because it depends who retweets it and who. Who comments on it. What's your opinion then, talk about reach on clout? Well, I really like clout, but I use it as anyone's been the sort of social media online course I've gone, I use it as a tool to give out sort of information, if you like, influence my industry. Yeah. So if you look at my Facebook business page or my Twitter account, there'll be a story on there, which is a generic one that, and that's through clout. Right. So I use it really from that perspective of because as an app, it's great for, you can choose a topic, get the stories you want. Yes. So I've got branding, advertising, and entrepreneurship. Right. And then what I know is that on a daily basis, I can look at it, pull a story from that's my fans are gonna enjoy and engage. And it's funny when you said it, when there was a story about Harry Potter not so long ago that was on the cloud one. Yeah. And I shared that out on my Facebook business page. That actually went out to about, I think the reach was about 1,900 or something. Now I've only got 300 odd likes. Again, it was the people that were sharing it, the people that were engaging with it, and the picture of Harry Potter and everything like that, And there was a story about the satchels, how the woman had created the whole business on the back of the satchels. I love that business. Yeah. So it's so I use it for that level. Word of warning though, when I've used it for that reason, you look at it and you look at a title and you look at the picture and you think, oh, that's great, and that must mean that, and that, and you want to post. Actually go in and read it. Yes, because it's so easy to think that'll be fine. And I found a lot more than there should be are actually, what? I couldn't use that, and I couldn't use that, and so
because they're still coming from a source that you've got to be credibility.
It's like the Upworthiest. Have you gone into that? And some of those are bizarre, but some of them are just blow your mind, and it's just picking and choosing, and sometimes it's quicker to look at the daily newspaper and then write your own one than go through loads of others.
I think some of them as well are these ones where you go on them and then you've got to either share it before you can read the.
Really?
I've not seen that. There's a lot on Facebook. You go into it, so you click on the link, and then you've got to share it before you can view it.
You can't do that.
So if there's anything like that, it's not going to make it to my business page. So, so hopefully that helps, Louise.
Yeah.
And
content is the way forward.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's got to be your voice.
Get out of there. Now we've got Joy. So we've got a question for Joy. We're going to answer in a minute. But we're going to take one of our famous breaks, okay? And they're famous because for the people viewing, it's about a second. But it's about 3 seconds.
For us, it could be 3 days.
But in our reality, it could be like we're covering different clothes and everything. Well, welcome back. And as I say, for you, it's been a couple of seconds. For us, it's been a few minutes of chit-chat and trying to sort the throat out anymore. But before going to the last question, we've got a last question from Joy. And then I'm going to ask you 10 quick-fire questions. But we do that. I wanted you to talk about your book a little bit because tell the world about your book that you've got out. And you've written a book.
Through the KPI program with Daniel Priestley, where you are taught to be a key person of influence, one of the things they tell you to do is if you are passionate about what you're doing, you should have it in print and get yourself a book done. And we all went, ooh. But actually within 10 weeks, I had my first draft done. So once you decide to do it, it's quite a short process to get done. So my book is called Step Up. My one-man band business was Steps to Success, and the philosophy was it's much better to take lots of small increments forward towards your success, and then you look back and you go, hang on, you think you've come a long way. That's the whole process, rather than have massive effort.
It's a bit like the compound effect.
And then exactly, and then you sort of stop all the effort, and then all the success goes. So Steps to Success was about lots of different tiny steps to success. Tiny steps. Sorry, pardon the pun.
You've got that on your Skype. What have you got on your Skype?
Yeah, I think so.
Taking tiny steps or something.
To success every day.
Yeah.
So Step Up was, the underpinning of Step Up is from desperation to inspiration in 12 simple steps. Because when you're a one-man band and you're at work, sometimes you can get desperate. It's all a bit too much and you get overwhelmed. And this wonderful business that you first started, and the idea of it was brilliant because you can release yourself from the 9-to-5 drudgery of the corporate world or whatever work you were in, and you can be your own boss. That's liberating and that's exciting and that's fun. And then when you're in it,
that goes away a bit.
Really hard work. But if you're loving it, it doesn't feel like work. But actually realising that you're still possibly writing invoices at 10 o'clock at night when you thought you'd be playing golf, all afternoon. The reality isn't quite measuring up. So the 12 steps basically go through 12 very common problems that businesses have when they first start up, but also when they get into that overwhelm. And sometimes the overwhelm comes from too much success. You've got loads of clients and you don't know what to do with them, and it all starts crumbling around you. So I used to run business forums, and at the business forum, over the course of 2 or 3 years, we'd have a guest speaker, and the same problems would come up again and again and again. So I sort of disseminated all the problems, and there were 12. So I thought, well, if we put that into chapters, looking at what you're picturing for your future, all the way through to your social media, how you communicate, all the way through to your business plan, all those things that would come up on a regular basis. And even if you only read a chapter once a month, because a lot of people go, I don't do reading. I'm not really,
No, I never used to.
No, exactly. And reading or listening audiobooks or whatever is really, really...
I've just formulated doing half an hour each night.
Exactly.
Well,
this chapter
I get through a book a month now.
Take 15, 20 minutes to write a chapter, but at the end of it, it sums up what the chapter's about, and then there are 3 points that you're supposed to do something about it.
Right, okay.
So you have to write those 3 things. What action are you going to take? And generally at the business forum, we always used to say everyone in the room had to take 3 actions. And one would be something that you could do in 2 minutes. Really easy. Bang, I can do that. It might be you've got a really naff voicemail on your telephone. and you could make sure that your name is on it, you're sounding like you're happy, you're cheerful, you're welcoming, and it's short and sweet, and it's going to be useful for anyone that might have got your number by mistake or isn't sure if it's the right number. It takes 2 minutes to do, but it's going to be supportive in your business. The next thing takes 2 hours, and the next thing will probably take a day. That's usually the one you've been putting off and you don't really want to do. It might be your VAT return, or it might be something, but you know you've got to do it. And again, it's tackling that bit by bit. So every time people would come to a business forum, they would commit to 3 things to the room, and then next month we'd go, how did it go? And they didn't want to sit there and go, I didn't get around to it. No. So the book is a shortened version of the business forums. So it's 12 different business issues and what you're going to do about each one. So we give you solutions within the chapters, and then you have to take action. So,
cool. No. And I did check last night, did my research. If you just go to Amazon and type in Jill Tiney, Tiney, it will come up. Yep. I checked that, it did come up. So I did my research. I've got one coming, that's why I'm going to do. I'll wait for you.
Also, if you there's a DVD as well, which is on stepstosuccess.eu, which is 7 steps to networking. As I say, I was networking tart, so I've learned an awful lot about networking. So I thought I might as well put it into a DVD for those people that don't like reading books. You see, so you can just sit and watch it for an hour.
Well, I never used to like reading books, and then I think last year I'd probably read about 5 books in total ever, and but the ones I had read had quite an impact on me.
Yeah.
So and I was getting a lot more into my personal development. So then, well, actually, if I do half an hour every night, then I can read literally a book a month.
Yep.
By the end of the year, I'll have done 12 books. And actually, I'm ahead of that because I think we're into August now, aren't we? And we've done 8 books this year, which is.
Have you read The Slight Edge?
No.
Because that exactly says what you've just said. There's a guy there, Jeff Olson, wrote The Slight Edge, and he tells a story about how he goes to an airport, and before he goes and gets his flight, there was a shoe shine lady that used to do his shoes, and he would chat to her and have a chat, and she was telling him how she was so proud of her daughter who'd won a cheerleading competition, but she had to go to California to go to this cheerleading, and she couldn't afford to send her. So this daughter was going to miss out on her dream because the woman couldn't afford it. Yeah. And the guy that was having his shoe shine glanced in the corner and noticed there was a big stack of books that she was reading. Mills and Boon, kind of romance and fluffy fiction. And he thought if only she had used that time when she was reading in between customers, rather than read those books, to read something that's going to further her development. He said he looked around the airport and there were probably 20 people that would have been happy to have had their shoes shine, and she could have had a little business that could have then supported her daughter going to cheerleading competition. So it is about the slight edge theory, doing a little bit every single time.
But that's why I'm lucky then, because I can't read fiction. It's got to be factual or business oriented. So I'm quite lucky
What's
that way.
What's your favourite book?
My favourite book of all time, because obviously The 7 Habits, Stephen Covey, because it just has such an impactful, and not just impactful on I read it and went, wow, that's amazing. But impactful that I took some of the habits, particularly habit 5, that seek first to understand and be understood. I took that and implemented in the business and the project I was doing at the time, and it made a massive result. A massive result. So it wasn't just the impact of reading; it was actually the result of it. Other than that, I think my next best one, other than my ones that are coming out very soon, and Step Up.
Thank you. I got there in the end.
It's probably Jamie Smart Clarity, I would say, at the moment.
Okay, I don't think I've read that one. No. But I like The 8th Habit as well, of Stephen Covey's. And I saw his, which kind of puts them all together and takes you to that next level. But I saw his son speak in Los Angeles, and Stephen Covey Jr.
Yes.
And I thought I was seeing the real deal, and it was his son. I was like, damn. But he was brilliant, and he talks about speed of trust.
Okay.
And that's what big collaboration is all about, building the trust equity. Because when you have trust in a relationship, business relationship or any relationship, then money isn't an issue. Yeah. And time is shortened. Yeah. And he tells a story about how Warren Buffett was buying Walmart, and all the solicitors were like, well, the lawyers in America were like rubbing their hands together. This is going to be like 9 months of legal wrangles, and it's going to take forever, and it's going to earn us millions. And he did it on a handshake. Yeah. And it was just like, wow. And I think they did the whole thing within 3 weeks because he trusted the guy that he was buying from, and that just shortened the whole process. Yeah. So when you have trust, it is brilliant.
That's key.
Love the comments.
Cool. Right, so we're going to the last question then. So Joy, you're talking about networking, so this is going to segue into that magnificently. So Joy asks, I've joined an NMM business, multi-level marketing business, that I love the products of and want to build a business from home. It all sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know I've got to get myself out there networking, but I'm quite a shy person.
It's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the short answer could be get over it, but that's really hard.
So yeah. Enjoy it. There you go.
Yeah. No, it's depending on what product you're selling.
I think, by the way, I mean, the people watching this, they don't want I think they prefer to have it
short and sharp.
Yeah, real where they can take something away with it. It's not about being a lovey-dovey program trying to stand by this.
No, it's there is always an element you do have to do some face-to-face networking because that's building a relationship. It's really hard to be friends with someone. A pen pal, years and years ago we used to write pen pal letters, and you could never be a true friend of somebody unless you'd actually met them face-to-face. So it works so much more effectively. I'm not saying you can't run a business without meeting people face-to-face. But sometimes it's for your personal development. If you don't want to go out networking, just think, actually, this is making me grow as a person, and it's going to enhance your business because you're able to go and present your business to everybody else. If you can't present it, then who can? So the first things first is look at what product you're selling, the people that are likely to know people that want to buy it. Not who are going to buy it, but who know people that are going to buy it. They're the ones that you're after. So it might be a women in business network. It might be ladies only, like Athena or
we feel more comfortable.
Ones. If it's a ladies, if it's something like Utility Warehouse, you might want to go into a mixed group, and it might be a Chamber of Commerce, it might be 4N. There are a million different ones you can go and choose. But have a look. If you go online and see who their membership is, are the people in that group potentially going to introduce you to 10, 20, 30 people who want to buy your product? Because when you go networking, a common misconception is that you're going to sell your product to the room.
No, it's a form of marketing, and marketing is generating leads, not clients.
Exactly, because nobody in that room wants to buy.
No, they're all going there to sell their stuff.
Exactly,
that's fine.
Exactly. So think about who could introduce you to a lot of new clients. So, for example, if you had a personal trainer who was going to a networking meeting, he's going to want to talk to other people that might be interested in the health industry. And what he's going to offer. So he might need to talk to somebody that does massages, for example, or maybe...
So you think for Joy then, with taking someone going with someone, it would help?
Yes, absolutely.
So someone and particularly if it's a multi-level marketing business, that you'll be part of a team, or you would have signed up with someone. So maybe say to them, that...
And they can guide you on the right one to go to. Because first of all, before you go anywhere, you've got to choose the right one. That's the bottom line. Choose the one with the right people in it. And then when you go, definitely take someone that's comfortable. I always find it's easier to network when there's two people anyway. Not that you're going to stick together necessarily at the meeting, but you can talk about them and they can talk about you. And it's so much easier to sell somebody else.
But there is that fear that you always going to stand on your own. And when you go there to give value, then actually that's very, I would say, if I go to networking one that I don't know anyone, and it's not normally the case now, but it did happen a few weeks ago. But actually, I think, I'm going out to find out about these people.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in me. I'm just going to go and find out about them. That really, and I'm not a big outgoing person, but that solves a lot of the problem. It's different multi-level. Because there's a business I know that I work with, and the owner is very much an introvert of the highest level. Almost, to the bit of just talking to anyone on the phone or anything, really doesn't want to do. But what he's done is he's hired people around him that are good at going out there talking to people.
Brilliant.
So slightly different with a multi-level marketing business. But I would talk to your team initially around you.
Yeah.
And go, like Jill said, go with people that you know.
And make sure that you know somebody that's going to be there. But then go a little bit early. Say it starts at 12 o'clock. Go there by 11:45 and make friends with the hostess because she knows everyone that's going to be in the room or the person that's running the meeting, basically. So go and have a little chat. Say, I'm new. I'm a little bit nervous. And they will look after you. Yeah. And they will make you feel, and they will introduce you to people.
That's what they will do. They'll introduce you to people.
Joy's new. You want to come and have a chat with her. And, and then all of a sudden you're in the melee of the whole thing. You probably need to make sure you've got your business cards. So these are your tools of your trade. And if somebody gives you a business card, which is lovely, try in a quiet moment just to write something on it that will remind you of that person. Green top, lovely blue eyes, whatever conversation you were talking about, because you have to follow up. That's one of the sins of people that don't network effectively, is they get all these lovely bunch of business cards and they just don't get around to doing anything with them. And it's the after effect of what you do with them that then pulls the relationship together.
I've often had that conversation, you probably do with your things as well, about your contacts, bingo networking, and it's like they bring out a bag, it's a bag of business cards, and that's it. What have you done with them? Nothing really. Yeah. No. I'm still amazed. I'm amazed how little emails I get from the people that I network.
Yes, it's hilarious.
And I've done so many presentations about the follow up and how key, and I'm just put them into email things and let them decide. I'm still. However many times I've done, and I do a presentation, and then everyone goes, "Oh yeah," and then I don't receive an email from any of them, and I think,
wow,
it really besot me. But
well, work gets in the way, which is funny, isn't it? Because we'll find anything to do, we'll answer an email rather than actually focus on the income producing activity. And if you've met someone that's worthwhile taking their card, then that must be worthwhile sending them an email saying it was great to connect. Thank you so much. The only reason you're going networking is you're going fishing. So you go in order to start the relationship to then have a one-to-one.
Yeah.
And that one-to-one is when you'll discover whether they've got people that you want to know, whether you've got people they want to know. Also go with the whole emphasis on what can I offer this person.
Yeah.
And I love chatting to people when they tell me things about their business. They go, "Oh, have you met so-and-so? Because I can connect you and they're over there."
Yeah.
And that when you've made a connection for somebody and it turns out to be fruitful for them, they love you. They love you forever.
And then the reciprocation kicks in. So
exactly.
I want to do the same for you. So, so just go there, Joy. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
As much as possible. And just go there. And I guarantee you, actually, will not be the only one in the room who's
feels
the same way as you. And you're funny enough, I bet, if you go in there thinking, well, actually, I'm just going to go and find out about people. I'm just going to go and have some enjoyment.
See how I can help
just
them.
see how it gets on, and just see what they all do. You'll actually, I guarantee you'll get attracted. Someone will get attracted to you who's very similar to you, and you'll then be two peas in a pod, and you'll be probably friends.
You'll be a double act. You go around together chatting to people,
and you'll be. And most of, I say I'm not great about going into a room and then starting. And we've had this conversation off air, if I can call it that. But it's amazing that everyone around me, is actually in some way through networking.
Yes.
So Brittany and Zelma, where we co-founded a magazine, met them through networking.
Yeah.
I met Steve through networking. Everyone connected around me that I outsourced to, I found through networking.
Because you get to know them, you get to like them, and you get to trust them.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that online, I don't think. You can do so much, you can go so far, but if you really, really don't like networking, then pay someone else to do it for you. But that's the last resort.
Well, the multi-level marketer is going to struggle to do that, unfortunately. But then you will be part of a team.
And use your team.
So just tell people, Joy, just say to your team leader or whoever you sign up with, or there's other people in your team you have a meeting, just say, look, actually, I want to go. I get it that I've got to go out there and talk to people about my business, but I am really shy about doing it. Can you just come with me or hold my hand the first couple of times? Yeah,
or if you see us at a networking meeting, then come and talk to us.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll share.
Definitely. Well, that's the 3 questions. So thank you, Matt, Louise and Joy. That's wonderful. Now we're going to do it's a new section, this is, by the way. But this is in line with the magazine as well, so the M4N magazine. Right. So 10 questions.
Okay.
All right. But short, sharp, very quick answers.
All right.
All right.
I'm not very good at quick.
I know, which is why we do it.
I'll try.
All right. So we covered one a little bit, but if you one very sort of as short, many words as possible.
Yeah.
What's your business?
Be Collaboration. It's a community where we can help people make the best of themselves.
Love it. How long have you been a business owner?
28 years. 28 years.
28 years. Did you start when you was 4?
Nice.
Why did you start this business?
Needs must, because my husband was in a partnership with somebody else and he did the dirty on us, and we were left high and dry, and it was what we knew how to do, so we started a stationery company. Right, cool.
And then why did you start this business, a big collaboration?
It fitted with my heart.
Right, cool. Now leave it at that. That's 11 questions now, not 10. Okay. In one sentence, what makes you stand out in your industry?
Other people should answer that for me. What makes me stand out? I'm committed. I'm committed to my purpose of my business.
That's a good answer. How long have you been going networking?
2007, I think.
Oh, 8 years?
8 years, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was going to be longer than that, actually. But there you go.
I've had many careers in between.
If you could only give one tip to networking, what would it be?
Be helpful. When you go to a meeting, be helpful. Try and help people, and they'll remember you for that.
Cool. That's your one tip. Excellent. What's the one piece of advice you would give someone to just starting to go in networking events?
Take a friend. I think that's
good. Well, we've covered that with Joy. That was good. Well, this should be a bit more interesting, a bit more deep. So, who inspires you?
In real life? Or?
In real life, anything, yeah.
A business partner inspires me, but don't tell him I said that out loud.
No, he's on tape now.
Damn. Yes, he does, definitely.
But you're taller than him, so
that's true. With my heels on. Stephen Covey, we were talking about earlier, sadly died last year, but I think the stuff that he's written has been phenomenal. Daniel Priestley, the way he's started his business from zero to hero, I love what he's doing. And always help him out as well. Cool.
We'll go on to question, but in terms of who inspires you, does that change for you? Because for me, I tell you what happens with me is, and I don't even know it's in the office downstairs, I've got 3 people that have been an influence on my business on the wall. But that changes depending on where I am with my business, actually, a little bit.
Well, sometimes you discover someone new, don't you? I mean, Roger Hamilton for a little while was someone that I was inspired by, and I still am to a certain extent, but there's other people that have kind of gone above him. Yeah. So there's the old favourites.
What motivates you to go out and network with strangers?
I'm lucky that I love talking to people, and that's just who I am, what I do. My kids get fed up with me. I will talk to the person in the theatre, I will talk to the person in Tesco's, and if I know I'm going to share Be Collaboration story, then I'm going to help them in every which way. So
that's good. So it's interesting about the passion behind it, that you don't mind sharing it,
No. Wow. If they don't, I feel like I'm guilty if I don't share, because it's like they're missing out.
Cool. So. And then to finalise, I don't know there's a word. What do you do to chill out?
Well, yesterday we were in Bournemouth on the beach. So we have a place down in Bournemouth. We go every Friday night. We come back Sunday night, and that's our downtime.
That's brilliant. That's your 10 questions with Jill Tiny. Thank you, Matt, Louise, and Joy again for the questions, and I hope you found it interesting and valuable. And thank you very much for coming on board. I'm coming here today. I can't believe it's episode 4 already.
I know, it's fantastic.
So that's it. If you want to start something, you just feel, I want to do something, just go and do it, because it feels like a couple of days ago that I was sitting down with number one, sort of here with Stephen, and we was actually in the room actually, and we thought, we'd, try and get started, and then I think, it's already episode 4. Yeah. So I think by this time, sort of come Christmas, how many have I done then about?
We have to have a party.
16.
All the people that have been interviewed.
I'm going to say that for the first year anniversary. Yeah. Cool. So thank you.
Bye.
And enjoy, and go and check out her book. Go and check out Be Collaboration. Your Twitter is your preferred?
@ Tiny.
Right. So we're going to magically make it appear.
Lovely.
Okay. So go and follow Jill, and because she's a great lady.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a wrap.